Hi, welcome. I figured it out. My mic didn't work, so here I'm taking off my mic. I'm gonna speak loud without my mic. Can you hear me now? How can you hear me? I'm Kate. I live in sunny Florida. Welcome to my live stream. I'm in my beautiful kitchen. I'm gonna cook today. Hello, my name is Syed Muhammad Ayan. I'm from Pakistan. Welcome. Welcome, Sagor Ayan. We're gonna cook today. I'm gonna show you what I bought for $29. Yes, you hear me correctly. I went to Sprouts and I bought my dinner. This is a big bunch of dill. This is one fennel. These are 2 tomatoes. Yes, can you hear me, Hashim? Thank you for stopping by. Welcome to my live stream. These are 2 heirloom tomatoes, 2. And this is a piece of fish we're gonna cook. This is a piece of wild cod. Yes, this cod is wild. And this cod is 1 pound, 1.2 pounds. And for this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for this 5 items, I paid $29 at the local food market, which is called Sprouts, which has healthy food. $29. Yes, food is getting expensive here. Is that good? Can you hear me well? Sagor, Hashim, welcome, welcome. I have 10 viewers. So we're gonna cook this fish today. And I'm gonna fry some fish and I'm gonna make salad, and that's gonna be a healthy dinner. And I'm gonna yap about work. I work in the library. Yes, lady, beautiful lady. And this fish is wild cod, Alaskan cod, C-O-D, cod, that's the fish. Very fresh. I'm in the United States, but originally I'm from, hold on. Not gonna scream like bloody murder. Originally I'm from Eastern Europe. I'm from Moldova. I speak Russian. My first language is Russian, but I speak English because I live in the United States. I've been living in the United States for the past 19 years. So yes, I'm gonna be yapping and cooking. So welcome to my live stream. I have 4 viewers. Welcome, welcome. So this is a piece of fish for everybody. Yeah, we're trying to eat very healthy dinners. So, New Moldova is beautiful lady. Hashim, beautiful lady. Yeah, thank you. So today, I am emotionally unstable, and I'm gonna tell you why. I just put up a party at work for my boss who is leaving, and I've been working with her for about 9 years, and I'm very sad she's leaving. So I put like our big boss, our department head, she asked me to help out with the party, and I think I did very well because I bought decorations, I brought some food, I brought a setup table, I brought some flowers, so I think the party was good. I'm gonna show it in my videos. So what I'm doing, I'm cutting few lemons, and because the fish is wild, and sometimes when you buy it in the store, it has a little fishy smell. To take off that smell, I'm using lots of lemon. I'm just squeezing the lemon juice out of the fresh lemons. I hope they appreciate your generosity. I hope they do. Leaving party. Yes, farewell party. Thank you, Hashim. So it turned out very well. People brought, you know, like it was like a potluck. People brought fruits, vegetables. One guy baked cheesecake. So it was very, very successful party, very good party. But after the party at 2 o'clock, we had a big old staff meeting, and I work for a big university library. So I'm gonna yap about fending for myself, about not tolerating the criticism when criticism is not due. And we work in the technical department, and I've been there for 10 years, and I don't like when people negate my work, when people criticize my work, because I've been there long enough to have value for this organization, to be appreciated. And I'm not tolerating, you know, how some people allow themselves to express, you know, their, you know, like to express something negating somebody's work. No, it's not gonna work like that. So today I'm gonna tell you a story how I made the director apologize. Maybe I took it a little bit too personal. Maybe I overreacted, but you know, I don't want somebody to overstep my boundaries. I was just protecting my boundaries, you know. So work situation. And again, I'm mostly happy at work. I've been there 10 years and I love the people I work for, but I'm particularly vulnerable and sensitive these days because, again, my boss's last day on Thursday, and she was an amazing person, and I'm gonna miss her as my direct supervisor. So I'm not tolerating bullshit from higher ups, and I'm not tolerating bullshit from anybody regarding my work because I know what I'm doing. Said hi, I feel you, Hashim, thank you. So I'm using about, yeah, I'm using 2 lemons and I'm squeezing while I'm talking. So what I'm doing, I'm just taking off this little smell. This is called. Ларисочка, привет. Здравствуйте. Готовим рыбу, готовим треску. Дикую треску. Замачиваем ее в лимонном соке, lemon juice. There are some viewers who stop by, and I remember them from previous streams. They are my regular viewers and they speak Russian, so sometimes I can switch to Russian just to say hi to my devoted viewers who are watching me from everywhere in the world, and they are Russian speaking viewers. I had a Karen in my old work. Yeah, well, it's not even about Karens, but let me talk you the situation. So recently we lost a colleague, and I had a very good work relationship with that colleague, and this colleague passed away maybe at the end of July. And there was a big all staff meeting today, and our director took time to say a word about this wonderful person. And I used to work with this person, and okay, she was a crazy, always on my ass with time management. I had a Karen in my old work. Yeah, there are people like that. They're gonna be, you know, they're gonna be seeing imperfections in you, but they wouldn't see like a real problem in them. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but that's not it, because I didn't allow to be treated like, you know, like, and it wasn't personal. When he said something, that comment was not addressed personally to me, because he probably didn't even know who took care of the stuff. But he spoke in such a arrogant tone, you know, like horrible, like, you know, calling my work horrible, you know. And I took it really personal, and I expressed my feelings during the break to my department head, and she shoot an email. And at the end of the big meeting, like after the break, the director took time to apologize about this particular comment. Okay, I'm too ahead of myself, so I'm gonna go back and start again. So today, I love you spoke up and called. Yeah, I called because it's, I don't like to be treated unfair, you know. I know the quality of my work, and I'm gonna defend my work here. But anyways, for the, I work for a big university library, and I work in the acquisitions department. So we're spending money to make sure our collection is up to date, to make sure our collection supports all academic programs in our university. And we're doing a good job, because now we're buying a lot of ebooks instead of print materials. But print materials, we still buy print materials. It's just we're running out of physical spaces, and spaces in the library are dedicated to the students' studies. So they come, they study in the rooms, they have perfect quiet booths, they have very comfortable furniture to bring their computers, lots of outlets to charge the computers and devices, and we have a lot of group study rooms. So the 21st library project is totally different. You don't see shelves with books anymore, but I'm talking about that in my every video when I'm talking about my work, because I'm very enthusiastic about what we do. So recently we buy a lot more electronic materials versus print materials, but this particular librarian, he was making sure we buy some books that are not available as ebooks, and they're very valuable to our collection, particularly for like Judaic studies. It's a big topic about Holocaust, so he would buy any imaginable book on that topic. Also, that guy, he was the big huge donor to the collection, so every year he would donate his own money. Like he would donate, maybe every month he would donate about $100 or $150 to buy books for the people who have big milestones or work, you know, like work achievements in the library for the staff. And he also would acknowledge if a family member dies, and he would buy a book in the memory of a family member or loved one. So he was donating a lot of money to buy books with, you know, special memory book plate. Would it be memory book plate? Because, you know, you put something, you put somebody's achievement there, or you put in memory of your loved one or something. So he was a big, huge donor. So today the director spoke about him highly, like, you know, praising him for all his hard work in the library as a librarian and also as a donor. Oh, library with ebooks is cool, Hashim. Yeah, that's a new 21st century library. So lemons. Okay, I'm making my fish bathe in the lemon juice, and now if you smell it, oh my gosh, oh, now it smells really good when it's bathed in the lemon juice. Okay, and I'm gonna make my salad with the heirloom tomato. Where are you? So beautiful. I'm in the United States, Orlando area in Florida, sunny Florida. Welcome to my live stream. I'm Kate B. I'm cooking in my beautiful kitchen and making healthy dinner for my family, and today is wild cod and heirloom tomato with fennel salad. And I'm gonna also use, for the fish, I'm gonna make my dill garlic sauce, and I make it from scratch. I use a lot of lemon juice, olive oil, garlic, and this beautiful dill. We Russians, we love our dill. We swear we eat dill with everything. Dill. It's one of my favorite herbs. Darling Kate, I like sea bass. Oh, Hashim, sea bass is a very good fish. Today is cod, wild Alaskan cod. And we're gonna use this gluten-free panko. There are no paid promotion in this videos. I'm just showing you how I eat and what I eat, because I'm trying to eat healthy, maintaining my healthy weight, and my husband likes to eat healthy. My kids don't eat fish, so they're gonna eat chicken nuggets. American kids gonna eat unhealthy. So anyways, so he's speaking about the guy, and he said, oh, but like the director is relatively new, so you should understand the director been there a little bit over 3 years, and that librarian who passed away, he was there more than 10 years, you know, and I was there about 10 years working with him. When he makes a donation, I make sure I buy the books he asked, and I make sure I make a book plate. And back in the day, our acquisition office, like when I started to work in my acquisitions, I work in the acquisitions, like that's the department is called Acquisitions and Collections of the University Library. Dill pickles. Yeah, you're right. We pickle our cucumbers and a lot of dill. Yeah, that's why they're called dill, Russian pickles or Jewish. They use a lot of dill. So for my fish, I'm gonna make a batter. I'm gonna put my fish in the flour. I'm gonna slice it, and I'm gonna put the fish fillet in the flour. Then I'm gonna use eggs, and then I'm gonna use panko, which is gluten-free, and then I'm gonna fry it in the olive oil. And that's how the fish stays nice and flaky and very moist. Good morning, Upul. Welcome to my live stream. So when he's talking about that guy donating so many books, he's taking a minute there, and he says that you know, he says something that the plates we put in the books were horrible. And since they hired like a couple of, maybe a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, the library hired a marketing professional, a marketing director who's promoting our library with like lots of printed materials, with lots of signage, with lots of booklets, with lots of advertising, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, recently, they decided to change the book plate, and they told me to hold on some donations because they're going to come up with a new book plate. So that guy, imagine the marketing director who makes like huge money. He probably makes like at least $80,000 a year. And me, who works in the technical department as a supervisor, library technical assistant supervisor, I'm not making that much money, you know. So back in the day, our department used to have an admin assistant, and she was sort of a secretary. She would do like different jobs for us, printing jobs, like doing like, so she was in charge of book plates, and she had a template in the computer. And over the years, when she left, I've been using that template, and nobody told me that something wrong with the template. And with this template, I just put the information for each book which was donated by this librarian. I just put the date, I put the, you know, wording that the librarian provides to me to put, but I keep the format the same. Maybe I change it, the font a little bit, because some of the wording was too long and it wouldn't fit on the book plate. And you can imagine this book plate is just a sticker. It's just a plain like archival paper, or like at least a shipping paper, or like with a good shipping label paper, which has a sticky back, and you just print it out, and you know, you just stick it in the book, and the book goes to the library shelf, and maybe nobody gonna check it out, but it's there in the memory of some loved one, or it's in the memory of milestone that, you know, any staff or a faculty member of the library, you know, any achievement, professional achievement, career achievement. So we're getting 2 eggs. And in the eggs, I'll add a little bit of paprika. I'll add a little bit original seasoning with no salt. I'm gonna salt my fish though. Like while my fish is being bathed in the lemon, it smells really good. I'm gonna salt it all over so it has salt when I fry it. And in my batter, I don't put salt in my batter because I already salted my fish before I put it in the batter. And you have lots of experience. I promise you're my humble good worker. Yes, yes, with respect. So all of a sudden he keeps telling us that this new guy coming out with a new label, and the old label, the book plate, the label we put the information on, it was horrible. Like literally, he uses that word. That plate was just horrible. We're coming up with a new plate. Guess what? It took them 3 or 4 like big, huge meetings to come up. And then the lady who was printing, she didn't even know if it's finished label because, you know, they had to align it on the paper. They had like, and it took like them 2 months to make a new book plate. So who knows? I'm not a librarian. I don't have this, you know, I'm not a designer. I've been using a template. I've been trying to do my best putting the font, and nobody in 10 years told me something wrong was with the book plate. So I took it personal when he used that verbiage, you know, when he used that narration that the previous book plate was horrible. No, it doesn't sit well with me. I a bank loan because you have my interest. I a bank loan because you have my interest. No, I'm not a bank loan. So I'm putting, like, this is the egg. I'm putting a little bit of, I'm yapping, but I forget that I'm cooking too. I'm putting a little bit of smoked paprika too, because it gives it a nice, and I'm gonna also put, what else? I'm gonna put just a little bit of coriander because, yeah, you can put whatever spices you want in your batter, because this is how I'm gonna cover my fish. I'm making like tempura. Yeah, you can call it. You can call it tempura because the fish is gonna be fried in the olive oil, and this will give it nice crust, and it's gonna keep our fish moisturized and flaky inside. Rudy Indra, welcome to my live stream. Hello, Rudy, welcome. I'm talking about like unfairness and how I made the director to apologize during the meeting for his wrong verbiage. Anyways, so he's using that verbiage, and then we go on a 5-minute break, and I have a complete meltdown. I have a breakdown because it was an emotional morning. We've been doing a farewell party for my boss, and my emotions are already high, and that dude allows himself to freaking negate all my work for 10 years because I was making the book plate I've been making this book plate for the past 10 years. Nobody expressed any concerns that something was wrong with the book plate, the design of it. And all of a sudden he says it was horrible. He's been working there 3 years. He's the director. It took freaking like 3 or 4 people to come up with a new one. And I was okay with that because they're designers. They know what to put on that. They had a logo of the university there, and the logo I had to make it smaller or bigger depending on what verbiage I put on the book plate. So I have to squeeze all the text in the label and make everything aligned because this label is like when you print it, you use the shipping label. Anyways, so I take it personally, and I started, and we're in the office. We're on break, 5 minutes break from this big, huge all staff meeting. And I expressed my concern to my co-workers, and I'm like, are you serious? He said that about our work? And there is another colleague who's been doing book plates before me and helping me, and sometimes she was managing donations too, like from other people, from professors. When they retire, they donate a lot of books to the library, so she was managing the book plates too. Kate, I used to work in kitchen Pizza Hut. I left in 1 month. The chefs were nice, but I just don't handle the pressure, and dishwasher was boring job. Oh, I hear you. But anyways, we work in the professional environment. So if you're a professional, you don't allow yourself to undermine other people's skills. He could leave my book plate alone. He would just point out that they're enhancing it. He could just say, since we have like the new marketing director, and he comes up with initiative, like they're gonna do a digital book plate, which is gonna be in the record, in the catalog record, and it's gonna look pretty. It's gonna be digital on the screen, like everything is digital these days. But they also gonna do one that goes exactly in the book plate, in the book, in the physical book, whatever, like a sticker, like I did before. So he uses that word, and I go bonkers. I go nuts. I started like my eyes are watery because I started to be like hyperventilating, and I tell my boss, this is so unfair. He's using that word, like undermining my abilities. For the past 10 years, nobody expressed any concern that something wrong was with the book plate. He cannot call it just horrible. He cannot call it out in front of all the stuff, like it was almost, I don't know, 70 people at that meeting. And nobody knows it was me who was in charge of the book plates. Nobody points to me, but I know it's my work. I don't allow anybody to call my work horrible. You can use a word, you can offer me like what I need to change, but you don't call anybody's work horrible, in the professional environment. And we are in the professional environment, we are not in the kitchen. And my coworker is like, oh, don't take it personally, Kate. He didn't mean to use it. He was just trying, to say how they want an approved book plate, like because the legacy of that guy, the librarian who donated a lot of books, it's going to go on with the new donations. And, they kind of pick up the tradition of donating books. It's not going to stop because the guy died, blah, blah, blah. But nobody calls my book plate horrible. So I throw this little big fuss, and then they come in to my, to my little booth, and they calm me down. And the director says, "Okay, don't take it personally." Not the director, the department head, my big boss, because she's the one layer between me and the big boss. And then she shoots a little message or email, like while we're still in the meeting. We go back to the meeting, I come down, I'm just completely out of it, and I'm listening. For real, he should have one that's more respectful. And I'm like, whatever, dude, you can talk, everybody can talk, and I'm already, like listening to that. I'm like, That wasn't a nice meeting because, you know, some people are new. They don't know that we've been there for ages. I'm all up to change. I'm all up to improvements. But, you know, if you just come 3 years and people were working 10 years, 12 years, 20 years, you don't call their work bad. You don't. Because, you know, we are not corporate. They don't pay us much enough to be like having corporate skills. They don't pay me enough to be a designer of the label. They don't pay me enough to know how to arrange the font and the freaking logo. They, you know, I've been doing it because I was told to do that, and nobody ever expressed any concerns about it being like so horrible, you know. So I throw a fit. What time is it in Florida right now, Kate? It's 6:34 p.m. It's evening, so I'm gonna be here till 7 or 7:10 because my daughter comes from gymnastics and my husband picks her up at about 7:15. They're gonna be home, so I have to finish my dinner by 7:15 and finish my stream. Okay, so that's the end. Also, we're gonna use a little bit of just plain white flour. But you know, you have to fend for yourself. If you let people just try it on your skin, you know, and get under your skin, and if you just don't say anything, they're gonna call everybody's work like and you know, talking trash about any tasks in future, you know. So you need to put, even the big people, they get carried away with their speeches because then my department has to say, oh, he was just trying to use the word blah 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 to make sure like we understand it's like an enhancement. No, I agree with enhancements. I agree with the change. I agree. I'm not a designer. They hired a totally, you know, big person with the marketing skills who went to school for that, you know. And I'm all for him, you know, designing that label from now on, and I'm gonna print it as I told so, or somebody else gonna print it for me. But anyhow, Kate, take care, enjoy your dinner. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate all your kind comments. Thank you so much. Have a perfect evening or day. Hashim, welcome. Thank you. Bye. So, and she shoots him an email, and after they're done with the agenda at the end of the, okay, and the third plate, I'm gonna put my I'm going to put my gluten-free panko. Panko is pretty much like something breading that makes your fish or whatever you fry we call it panko here. Like you can fry seafood, you can fry like shrimp, you can fry whatever using this gluten-free panko. Thank you for being with me. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. So they shoot him an email at the end of the agenda when they're done with their whatever presentations and slideshows. All the big people, big bosses talk about what's going on, what to expect, the changes, the new people we hired, the new trends, the new whatever workflows, blah blah blah. So when they're done with the agenda, the director takes word again, and he said, oh, wait a minute, I wanted to apologize when I talked about the labels for the donated books. And he said, well, actually nothing was that bad about the labels. They were okay labels, like they use archive paper and everything. It was just time to change them. So he tried to take back his horrible words, and he made an effort to apologize. And, you know, I think that that was a big step. It was a big step. That was a big move, you know. There was a respectable move on his side. Like he could acknowledge that he was carrying, he was a little bit carried away. Okay, so we put it in the flour. That's how it's gonna look like. It's gonna look a little messy, but I'm gonna show it to you. It's gonna look a little messy, but I'm gonna show it to you. Okay, we put it in the flour. I'm gonna put it in this egg batter like that, and then we use this crumbs, panko, and we do it like that, see? And that's what makes fish nice and crusty, and that what keeps the moisture in. Okay, there are thicker and there are thinner pieces. So for the and then I tell my department head, I say thank you very much for fending for myself. Well, she was fending for me, and she said, okay, so how I did that. It's very messy, so I'm gonna do it while you see my face, not seeing all this messy fish. Eric, you trying to write in Russian? You can write in English, I will understand perfectly. So I'm gonna get over it. I was just in the moment, but I'm glad I threw a fit, because you know, if you let people negate your work and criticize your work, you know, he apologized, let's move on. They're gonna do enhancements one way or another. I'm still considered like a small technical worker. I have 2 people I supervise, and they're wonderful people, and I never tell them something like that. I never tell them that their work is horrible. If we need to learn something, I just explain a little harder, and I just give them, you know, like praise all the time, because people work in underpaid jobs. You know, this is not a corporate pay. This is nothing. Yeah, they pay us good benefits, they pay us state benefits, but you know, people need more cash. These days everything is so expensive, and the cost of living is so expensive, and we work hard. We are there 8 hours a day for, you know, for not big salaries. The most they can do for us is appreciate our work and never call it horrible, you know. So that's my story. That's my story for today, and my fish story. But because I'm here, and it's not that bad after all, you know, like I needed to let it out. I needed to let it out of my chest. I needed to rant, you know. That's why I have YouTube. I'm gonna be happy and I'm gonna be sad sometimes, but as long as I come out here and I'm honest and I vent, I move on, you know. It's like, it works like psychotherapy, you know, like it works like you go into a shrink. Instead of going to a shrink, you just go in for free to your YouTube channel and you vent on the screen, you do something with your hands. Actually, when you're like feel upset or depressed or a little, you know, like not sure emotionally, just try to do something with your hands, you know. Like that's like a sensory exercise. Look, my hands are like all dirty now, and I'm cooking fish, I'm frying fish. Sometimes when I'm like in a bad mood, I'm cooking my borscht, because I do a lot of manipulations in the kitchen with my hands, and it helped to take your mind off like the, you know, like the sad stuff. So to the good ones. I'm gonna since I'm telling you about work, I was thinking about 2 stories I wanted to tell you, recent stories from work, fun purchases I made. And I also wanted to talk to you about August. August is my birthday month, and I'm excited because 2 of my local American friends, they also have birthdays in August, and we have this tradition to go and celebrate our birthdays, doing something fun. Like sometimes we go to a spa, sometimes we go to throw axes, you know, sometimes we do what we do, like sometimes we do fancy dinner, sometimes we go painting. So we try to celebrate birthdays because we have birthday in the same month. Okay, I didn't have enough crumbs, so I'm gonna put a little more, and then we'll be ready to fry fish and make salad. And we've been live for 37 minutes. I have another 15 minutes to go. So I'm going to tell you about interesting purchases, and I'm going to tell you about August. So August is my birthday month. My birthday is coming on August 12th. Sagor, welcome to my live stream. Welcome. And my daughter's birthday is coming on August 21st. So this is double holiday. So for my daughter's birthday, we're staying in a nice Universal hotel, and we're going to a big theme park, like Harry Potter park, riding the roller coasters. That's what she wanted to do. For my birthday, we usually go somewhere. Last year, I went to visit my sister in Berlin for my birthday. But for some reason this year, I've already been to Sicily this year, meeting with my sister, and it was my big trip this year in Europe. If you haven't seen my videos from Sicily, please, 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 please watch my videos. They're so pretty. We've been to ancient theater, like whole Sicily, like walking the streets of this little town, go to the beach. It's like being in a museum. Lots of history, lots of beautiful, gorgeous architecture, ancient theater, like history, and beautiful views, beautiful landscapes with the water and the mountains. It was just mesmerizing. I loved Italy. So anyways, after coming back from Italy, I got a little bit depressed because it's back to work. It's like back to your routine, being an adult, taking care of kids, being a mom, cooking in the kitchen, figuring out what's for dinner. So after vacation, it always like depressing mood a little bit. And then when I learned that my boss is leaving, I got like upset. So this year, August is not one of my favorite months. Usually August is my favorite month of the year because it's like something. It's like something. I love my birthday. I love surprises. I love to do something fun. But this year, I'm not looking forward to my birthday because it's going to be last birthday in my 40s. And this year, I'm not happy in August. I'm just going through like emotional breakdown in August. And one of my coworkers had a terrible news too today. So I felt sorry for her. And But that's what I wanted to tell you. Привет, как идет работа, Сергей? Все хорошо, спасибо. Вот, ругалась сегодня на директора. Ругалась, пожаловалась на директора, и он извинился за то, что он назвал нашу работу плохой. Ну, не конкретно меня, но я не хотела, потому что о том, о чем он говорил, ту часть работы выполняла я. И я не дала себя в обиду, и я пожаловалась своей начальнице, и она заставила директора извиниться, сказать, что он был неправ. Так что вот так. Директор тоже может признать, что он был неправ, и извиниться. Так что получила извинения от директора. Надеюсь, что они не смотрят мой канал, а если даже смотрят, большой им привет. Я говорю все, что я думаю. Никого не боюсь. Спасибо, что вы зашли и написали. Anyways, some of my viewers are Russian speaking, and when they send me a comment in Russian, I can talk Russian and English both, and I really appreciate every viewer who stopped by on my live stream. So this is how my codfish looks when it's in the panko batter, and we're gonna fry it, and then we're gonna cook quick salad from the heirloom tomatoes and this beautiful fresh green herbs. And we're gonna make the sauce from lemons. I have more lemons. See, I bought this beautiful apron in Sicily because it has lemons and it has this blue color of the sea. And I have lemons, and I'm gonna, for the fish, I'm gonna cook my favorite garlic dill sauce. And I'm taking you to my, taking you here to my stove, and we're going to fry some fish on my beautiful stove. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna heat up the oil. using olive oil to fry my food. It's a little healthier. Okay. And I promise you to tell some good stories from work. So this year I was trying to buy something very special. Like sometimes we buy very special items for special collections. Special collections is like the department where they collect something that's not circulating easily, that's like a little museum of interesting items that only have to be kept in the special collection, and people cannot check them out, take them home. They can only use them in the library if they want like some old manuscripts, or they want something about Florida or Caribbean, you know, heritage. And sometimes they buy very unique items like art books or pieces of art from, I don't know, from very small artists. Or university, you know, some other universities, some artwork. But anyways, this item I supposed to buy for them was from eBay. And the thing is that that was a very pricey item. It was a couple of $1,000s. And when I tried to make my purchase on eBay, because I have an account, like I have a work account on the eBay. So when I try to make, can you hear me well? I'm gonna fry my fish. Maybe it's gonna make some noise here, like the oil gonna pop. I'm waiting for the oil to heat up. So interesting purchase, because you know my job, besides sometimes being hectic, it's very interesting. So I'm reaching out. I don't know, maybe I told you that story before. I feel like I'm gonna tell you about two things today, like this story and another story. So I'm dealing, sometimes the vendor should be authorized, the vendor, because you know, like the university buys from a vendor who makes sure, we make sure that the vendor paid taxes. But occasionally, if it's a very special purchase and I can only find it from one vendor, I can buy it from a vendor directly, paying through PayPal. PayPal is very reliable service in terms of like using your credit card, and I do have a like corporate credit card. So I got a special authorization for that purchase. Can you say? No. What's your name? Adnan? Leiba. Hi, Leiba. Welcome to my live stream. I'm trying to see how is my oil. How is my oil? How heated is my oil? Like touching it with my hands. When I see when it's like well heated, I'm gonna start frying my fish, because the fish takes about like 3 minutes on each side, and then it's gonna be done. Okay, I'm back, and because I'm frying my fish in oil, I'm gonna use this plate and I'm gonna cover it with some paper towels, and when my fish is done, I'm gonna put it on the paper towel so all extra grease is gonna just get out. Okay, I think my oil is pretty hot now, so I'm starting to put my fish. So, and I'm reaching out. This purchase was authorized because, you know, I ran out of, like, my limit usually less than that, like that amount I had to purchase this special items. And the item was from Mexico, and it was about the Olympic Games in 1964, whatever, in Mexico City. And you couldn't find this collection anywhere else, and I got a special authorization from my P-card authorities to use the card and make this purchase through PayPal. And if you don't know, PayPal, when you buy from like legitimate vendors in PayPal, if something goes wrong, PayPal purchases are protected, so you can get your money back. So you don't pretty much risk anything. PayPal is very reliable money service, and especially when you pay to vendors, the item gets lost or not delivered, there is a special insurance or something that, you know, the PayPal will return you money or something like that. But listen to me. Listen, before I was authorized to pay by PayPal and work directly with the vendor, I had to reach out to eBay because, you know, eBay wouldn't allow me to make a tax-free purchase. And I've been writing and writing lots of emails. It takes me days. Like, you know, one purchase, it's not just straightforward. You go to the store, pay with a credit card, and it takes you 5 minutes. There are some purchases that take literally months in the works to make things to arrive through the library because it's so special. Like another one I'm going to talk about was coming from Spain, and it took me 4.5 months, like more than, no, it took me, hold on, July is 7 months, and I started in September. So 3 and 7, 10 months to make one purchase. I love you too. Anyways, so this guy on eBay, so I'm telling you, I'm spending like weeks writing to eBay, to a special department where I explain to them that my organization has to make a tax-free purchase because, you know, on the $3,000, it's probably $210 tax. On the $3,000 purchase is 7% sales tax in Florida, and my organization is tax exempt from sales tax. So I have to reach out to vendors to make sure they don't charge me sales tax. And when I'm reaching out to eBay, I'm reaching out to a special department on eBay, and I've been writing like tons of emails. Nobody replies to you. There is no chat. There is no phone number to call. And you know, I'm running in circles, and I need somebody waiting on this purchase because somebody's writing like a dissertation or research paper or something. So some professor is waiting for that, or whatever he's doing, like a presentation or research or whatever, like a work, like very valuable work, and he needs that item. So I'm reaching out to vendor, and eBay protects you from reaching out to vendor directly. So you write to the special email that's like you don't write directly to vendors. So eBay monitors what you write to vendor, and I'm writing to vendor that I want to connect to the vendor directly. And it's almost like in a spy movie because, oh, gee, hold on, sorry, my fish is being like, let's see. Now it's getting golden. I have to turn it around so I make sure it doesn't get burned on one side. Sorry about that. Hold on. Sorry for the noise. So I use this tongue. Oh my goodness. I like how it gets gold on one side and then I turn it around. Pardon my noise. Oh my goodness. Just a second. Let me turn it off. Мой папа любит эту рыбу. My father loves this fish. Let me show you how pretty it is. Look how pretty it is. Yep. So I'm writing in the eBay, in the chat, to this vendor, like, can you send me more information about this, about the items in this collection? And I want to reach out to discuss a purchase tax-free, so when I pay directly to the vendor doesn't charge me tax-free because I provide documentation that my organization is exempt of sales tax, blah, blah, blah. But eBay doesn't want you to contact the vendor directly because eBay makes money off the purchases, so they want you to use eBay platform for their fee. Yusuf, welcome to my live stream. Welcome, Yusuf. So I tell them, okay, I tell the vendor I need your email address, blah, 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 so I can contact the vendor directly. And the vendor tells me, almost like in a spy movie, the vendor tells me, please look at the images closely. And when I start to look at the images of the items in the collection and the items like he's selling, when I start to look closely, I see his email address being like watermarks on the photos. So he was telling me look closely, so he was telling me in like quiet way how to find his email address, because when he tries to write his email address, eBay doesn't deliver those messages, you know. So I look at the photos and I see the email address of this guy who is selling the items, because they're like pretty much like encrypted. They're like watermarks on the photos of the merchandise he's selling. So I'm reaching out in like direct email to him, and I'm like telling him, yeah, like I'm this and that, I'm buying it for the collection, please provide me the invoice through the PayPal. And it happens that the guy lives in Mexico, you know. So what is scary, that from Mexico the delivery cost, the delivery is about $250 from Mexico, but I guess it's insured and it's like goes through customs, blah blah blah. So the FedEx box would cost me $250 for just shipping the items. But I'm okay with that, since, you know, oh my goodness, this fish looks so good, guys, so good. Yeah, so it'll take another couple of minutes and I'm gonna make the sauce. Yeah, let me. Okay. What I don't like about frying the fish at the end, I'm covering it because the oil starts to splash all over my beautiful sauce. And the oil on the fish sauce drives me crazy. Okay, 7:01. So I'll have to be done in 15 minutes. We're gonna make sauce together and I'm gonna let you go. Okay. So that's it. About 3 minutes on each side. Any single girls in here? So what, you trying to meet a girl? No, only boys so far. Okay. Look how pretty, perfect is this fish. So good and flaky. So I take off the thinner pieces earlier, and one of the thickest pieces I keep in the middle of my frying pan to cook a little longer, because the thicker pieces might take a little longer to cook. So you just see, you just let me show you. Like, see the thick piece? Like, see the thicker piece? It takes a little longer to cook, so I leave it in the middle of the frying pan for longer. But I take off the little pieces. I'm doing my light stream. These little pieces are done. What's it trying to do? I'm gonna turn it. Buffalo chicken? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you want me to make it something else? I want fish? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, I'm back. We're gonna cook the dill and garlic sauce. I have already. So this is the fish, beautiful fish, And we're gonna cook the heirloom tomato salad with fennel and red onion, and we're gonna use feta and olives. It's gonna be like Mediterranean heirloom tomato salad. Okay, I use about 4 or 5 garlic cloves for my sauce, and I use this fresh dill. I'm gonna wash it and let it dry, and I'm gonna use about like third, like that amount of dill, maybe a little more, because I'm gonna, yeah, it's called mujdiye. In Moldova we call this sauce mujdiye. What are you doing? I'm gonna cook the sauce and we'll be done. So about that purchase. So that guy, where did they stop? So that guy tells me to look at the picture. So I reach out to him and we arrange the payment. I pay him over the PayPal. The guy speaks English, and he writes me the email when he ships the items. So when the item comes, I reply to him that I received the items, and I'm even, you know, so afraid to open the box, so I get the guy from Special Collections to open the box and see if everything he needs is there. It's a $3,000 purchase plus $250 for shipping, so it's an expensive buy. And when the guy tells me that everything is in order, and I stress out, and took about a month. It took about a month to make the purchase, like from the start with the eBay, trying to reach out for tax-free purchase, blah, 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 to the time when the guy shipped the item and everything was in order. And another one, we've been here 59 minutes. We have another maybe 10 minutes. So here is the sauce. Here's how I do the sauce. I squeeze a lemon. No, this is like small. Maybe I'll use this for the sauce. I'll use this for the sauce. You know, I'll probably do my salad when I don't see you. Any single girls in here? No, no single girls. So another purchase I want to talk to you about is from Spain. And maybe I did tell you about this purchase, because I placed the order in September, but they used the wrong address. And again, I paid by PayPal, and before I paid in PayPal, there were two addresses on PayPal. One was the shipping address where the building is, and another was billing address. The billing address was attached to the credit card provided by the, like a corporate credit card, you know, like the organizational credit card, not my personal credit card. So the people who are in Spain, they always use the correct address. So what happened the first time, somebody used the billing address instead of shipping address, and the book came all the way to Spain to the wrong address, and it was sent back. And all of a sudden, they tell me that the parcel returned, you know? So it cost me, let's say the book was $24, right? So it cost me about $20, 20 euros or $25 to be shipped. So we already paying like twice for the book, for the shipping from Spain, because this book was, check this out. The author is the guy who works for our university, but he is Cuban author, and he writes in Spanish. And he publishes his books. Oh my gosh, my daughter was taking something from the cabinet. She left it open. Sorry guys, I don't like a mess. I don't like you see my pantry. Anyways, so he is writing the books, and he doesn't publish it in the States because it's very expensive to publish it in the States. So he published them in Spain, you know. So I can only buy some books in Spain. If you're lucky, I could buy them probably, like rarely I can find them somewhere else, but this is the publisher in Spain. So that's what I do. So you crush your garlic, like I use this to crush my garlic. This is the garlic, 4 cloves of garlic, right? Did I use? Felt like I had more garlic. Then you cut your dill like very, and then you use 3 lemons and you squeeze. This is the best sauce for your fish. You don't need anything else. And you put salt and pepper. I put like black pepper and salt. Crushed pepper. You can put whatever seasonings you like, but you can put a little bit of paprika too. No, I'll probably put a little bit. Oh my gosh, I love my coriander to be everywhere. Just love coriander. I don't know why, but that's one of my favorite spices. So this fish is done too. Let me. Ой, какая вкусная рыба. Потрясающая рыбка. Ой-ой-ой. Ой-ой-ой. Боже. You should see my stove. It's like all needed clean wash. Look, it's so flaky. It's so white, it's so beautiful, it's so tasty, it smells so good. Посмотрите, какая золотистая рыбка, красивая. И вот соус, сделаем соус муждей. Муждей по-молдавски. I'm from Moldova, we call this sauce муждей, but it's very similar to chimichurri sauce if you like Latin origin or whatever, chimichurri for meat. You can use cilantro, you can use parsley, you can use garlic, you can use whatever herbs you like. For fish, in my family, we love dill. Dill just works very good with garlic and lemon juice. Oh my gosh, I love to squeeze lemons. Lemons remind me of Italy. I'm forever in love with Italy. I'm going back next year. I'm going back to Amalfi Coast. We went to Sicily, but I've been watching a lot of videos, and next time I really want to go to Amalfi Coast. It's so gorgeous there. Sorrento, Positano, I've been watching lots of videos and it's just so pretty there. So back to my sauce. Okay, how many? 2 lemons? I use 3 lemons. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't use anything. You hear the thunder? 3 lemons, 3 big lemons. No, 2 small and 1 big. So I'm buying this book and I already paid for the book to be back, right? And they say for some reason the book returned. And I didn't notice first time. And they say you have to ship it again. They say, okay, we'll ship it again, but you have to pay $20 for shipping again. So I already paid for the book. They don't charge me for the book, but I paid for the shipping for the second time. So now the book itself is $25, but you already paid $40 for the shipping. So the second time the book gets lost again and I can't figure out what's going on. So I go back and I see it, all the paperwork, and I see them using a different address, and they say it wasn't delivered, it was undeliverable, the address was wrong. And I'm telling them, hey, listen, you use the PayPal, and instead of using the PayPal shipping address, you use the PayPal billing address, and this address is not my building. I didn't receive the book. So they say, oh, we're so sorry, it's lost for the second time, we're looking into it. And mind you, it was always already January, since September, twice. They shipped it twice. In February, I reach out again, and they keep telling me they're looking into it. I'm like, no, I just need a book. Ship me the book. And we're at the end of the fiscal year. Hi, where are you from? Arun, welcome to my live stream. I'm Kate. I live in sunny Florida, United States of America. I'm an immigrant from Eastern Europe. So I love cooking from scratch. I cooked some fish for dinner today. And I made my own garlic sauce with some dill and lemon juice. And also I add some olive oil to my special fish sauce. Well, I'm using the sauce to go over my fish, and then I'm using olive oil. Oh my gosh, this is such a good sauce. Delish. Oh, it smells so good. Like anything, you can eat anything with this sauce. Meat or fish, or you can use it even on the piece of bread. That sauce will, like on a piece of crusted bread, the sauce gonna feel amazing. So, and I topped it off with the olive oil. I'm from India. Kate, Arun, welcome to my live stream. Welcome from India. What time is it, India? Is it morning time already? You're how many hours ahead of us? It's 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. at night here in Florida. So what is time in India? Is it 5 o'clock in the morning? What time? Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I can't wait. I'm gonna eat a piece of fish without making a salad, because I have to say goodbye. We've been here 1 hour 9 minutes with you. Look at that fish. Look at the sauce. Let me. Oh, so flaky with the crust. Oh my goodness, how nice. Fresh fish. So flaky. Delish. It's gonna be mukbang. Look at that sauce. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna smell like garlic and dill and olive oil and lemon. You never go wrong with lemon for your sauce. Yum yum, delicious. Thank you. You don't like fish? Why are you closing your mouth? 4:45. 4:45 a.m. That's early. Wow. I outdid myself. See what I'm telling you? This gluten-free panko, it keeps the fish moist inside. So flaky, so tasty. And this garlic sauce, I was hungry, man. Yummy, very fresh. This sauce, people. Don't buy those sauces from the bottle. They put way too much salt. Make your own sauce. It takes like literally 5 minutes. You chop your greens, you chop your garlic, you put olive oil and lemon juice. That's it. That's the best sauce you can have, fresh and tasty and healthy. And it controls your salt. You don't need to put too much salt in there. Oh my gosh, this fish is to die for. Okay, I have to wrap up my live stream. So I buy this book. For the third time, the company makes me pay. They say, okay, we'll send the book again. Third time is a charm. I discovered that problem. I call my credit card authorities and I tell them, hey, listen, my shipping address and my billing address are different. Can you fix it? And my accountant tells me, like from a different department, the accountant who pays the bills, he says, why are you paying 3 times for the shipping for the same book? So I explain them what happened, and they say, well, okay, you shouldn't have paid for the shipping again. So I get in trouble for paying another $20 for the shipping. So check out, I buy this book for $24. The book itself costs $24. And I pay $60 to get it shipped from Spain. And the third time, I put my shipping address and I make sure the company knows that the first 2 times there was a mistake on their side, because they used the PayPal address and it's just for some reason showed the billing address. I fixed the address. I made sure my address is the same on my P card. Shipping address and the billing address are the same attached to my P card. And I asked them to ship the book because we were at the end of fiscal year and I had to close the book. I made that purchase already in September. It was 2025 fiscal year. We're closing the books. I have to have this book to release their funds and close the invoice. So I keep telling them I need the book by the end of July. So guess what? The books come, no, not even July. July 1st, the start of the new fiscal year. I need this book by the end of June. So guess what? The book comes 15th of June, I close my books and the book finally comes. It took me 10 months and maybe 25 emails back and forth and $60 in shipping costs just to ship the special book of the author of our school who wrote in Spanish and who published his book in Spain, in Madrid. And it took me total, how much I paid? 24 plus 60. It took me $84 to get this book to our collection. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for cooking fish. And again, I'm going to show you my beautiful tomatoes. I'm going to chop them up real quick with the red onion and this fennel. And I'm going to make a quick salad because my husband's going to get in the door in 5 minutes with my beautiful daughter from her gymnastics. And I'm gonna make her something too because she doesn't eat fish. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for watching my channel. Please watch my videos from Sicily. Please support my channel. Give me likes, write comments. I love you all. I really appreciate you stopping by and letting me vent about work, about everything, my emotional moods and stuff like that. Thank you for being my devoted viewers. Thank you for writing your kind comments. I love you all. Till the next time I see you. Bye-bye. Bon appetit. Bon appetit. I'm finishing my fish. It's so good. Bye-bye. Kate B and my beautiful kitchen will cook something else. Bye-bye. Eat healthy. I want to do it until 1:15. Bye-bye, Arun. Thank you for stopping by. Send me your likes. Send me your comments. Love you all. Bye.